Now I will call upon Perry Paler, who chairs our carjacking task force, to talk to you a little bit about some of our findings.
Good morning. Thank you, Madam State's Attorney. In the spring of 2021, State's Attorney created the carjacking task force to serve as a vehicle for our office to collaborate with our law enforcement partners, business leaders, elected officials, and most importantly, our community stakeholders to collect and analyze data and educate the public regarding the heinous crime of carjacking events, which were occurring at an alarming rate in Prince George's County, Maryland. We've had great success with being able to educate the public. As a result of our task force, we've been able to collect geographical data in terms of where the incidents are occurring, but we've also been able to go in and engage the communities. We've had great success with our Streets Our Future events in certain areas, and we've also created public service announcements. We've created a video campaign, a public service announcement with our celebrity, Big G of the Backyard Band, which we promoted to really get the message out to young people to really avoid circumstances that will put them in a situation to be around, near, or around people who perpetrate this heinous crime. Our data has indicated that this crime more and more is being perpetrated by organized crime. So as a result, this office is working with our partners in Annapolis to support the Maryland Racketeer Influence and Corruption Act, as mentioned by Ms. Braveboy. And this is legislation, this is Maryland's version of the United States federal law that provides for extended criminal penalties and a civil cause of action for acts performed as part of an ongoing criminal organization. And we expect to use this tool to be able to go up the chain and prosecute all individuals involved in perpetrating the heinous crime of carjacking. Thank you.
Thank you. And again, we really thank our sponsors. It is a piece of legislation that we have proposed and are asking for the legislature to pass. I do believe I saw a question about the bill number. We actually just received the draft bill yesterday. And so that bill will be filed probably later this week or early next week, and it will receive a bill number at that time. However, we can provide you with the draft of the bill at the conclusion of this press conference.
Okay, thank you, State's Attorney Braveboy. We will now turn it over to Christopher McDonald. He's the Executive Director of the Vehicle Theft Prevention Council. Chris?
Thank you, and thank you, Madam State's Attorney, for the opportunity to, say a few words. So, being part of the carjacking task force, obviously, when we look at crime and look at, whether it's vehicle theft or carjackings, theft from autos, part of, this collaborative effort is it's not a me thing, right? It's a we thing. So we as all aspects of law enforcement, the community, state's attorneys, public interest groups come together to really, combat, every crime that's possible. And then specifically in carjackings, as Madam State's Attorney said, we've seen carjackings on the increase these last few years. And this carjacking task force has done a great job in identifying what those issues are. So what the Vehicle Theft Prevention Council brings to the table is funding, right? We fund programs. The Prince George's County State's Attorney's Office has been a longstanding program of the Vehicle Theft Prevention Council long before I was in this position. And we want to continue to support those programs with vehicle theft and carjacking. And as long as I'm here, we will continue to do that. And it's important that, we recognize, our problems within, the state of Maryland and, support, our partners in the fight against vehicle theft, vehicle crimes, and carjacking. So it's been a pleasure to be part of the task force, and thank you for, allowing me to participate and allowing the expertise that comes out of that. I think more and more groups and more jurisdictions should do things like this to identify, what problems they have and come together as a whole organization, bring all the stakeholders together to combat, carjacking. So thank you for the opportunity, and I look forward to our continued partnership, in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. And we've had all our speakers go. At this point, if you have any questions, you can open up your mic, turn on your camera, and ask a question.
Well, I will. Hey, it's Brad. I just typed a question in there, but I'll ask it now. So the police say they arrested 109 juveniles in 2022. We have been told that it's juveniles that are doing these crimes. This is the first I'm hearing that it's organized crime. What evidence is there that it's organized crime?
Oh, absolutely. Well, let me just say this, that the young people are getting guns from somewhere. Many of them are being directed by older individuals. These cars that are being carjacked are not only taken from the rightful owner, but also oftentimes used in other crimes. So we know in many cases, not in every case, but in many cases, this is really a network of individuals who are committing crimes, oftentimes across jurisdictional lines, whether it is the Washington, D.C. or Montgomery County or in Northern Virginia. So we absolutely know, and our intelligence tells us that many of these young people are part of these criminal networks, and they are organized by older and other individuals who seek to use them to commit offenses in furtherance of other crimes.
So what can you do about the juveniles? I mean, you can't, they're all being let go.
That is not correct, Mr. Bell. I can tell you that we pursue cases against juveniles. Ultimately, it is up to the judge to determine the appropriate sanctions once a juvenile is found to have been involved. I can tell you that our data tells us that the vast majority of those juveniles who have been charged with carjackings, that we pursue those cases, that there is a finding of involvement, and that we work with the judge as well as defense counsel. We all make recommendations, defense counsel, the Department of Juvenile Services, and our office. And ultimately, a judge makes a decision on what the appropriate sanctions are. But where we have facts sufficient to hold young people accountable for the crime of carjacking, we absolutely do that.